What up? It's Landsave, and it is way too early in the goddamn morning for me to be screaming, so we got a quiet intro for you today. But the Nintendo Switch just got announced for console. It is going to be releasing very soon, so let's talk about it. A lot of people were speculating because of how long it took to get to console, like the PlayStation 5 and to Xbox, that the Nintendo Switch was probably going to be coming out very far into 2026, but that is not the case. It is coming out January 13th, which is 4 days from now. So too early for math. But yeah, it's coming out very soon, and it raises a lot of questions as to if it's going to be finished and what's going to be included on it. I'm going to assume that you're going to pay for the membership the same way that you pay for the membership on the PlayStation and Xbox. But there are some things that have been guaranteed that people are not ecstatic about, and that is obviously you do have to reset your character. I feel like that was pretty obvious just because it is an entirely different console. You know, it is Switch. You can't transfer your character from obviously not PC, but also your PlayStation and Xbox that you've been playing the last couple of months. And people aren't ecstatic about that, but I mean, obviously it's Nintendo. You probably will have to pay to even pay for the membership, to be honest. So. Also, people were questioning that if it was going to come out on all the versions of the Nintendo Switch, and it just said in the FAQ that the Nintendo Switch will be coming out on the Nintendo Switch 1, and I believe that the other ones are backwards compatible. So, yes, it will be available on every Nintendo Switch. However, it will obviously not be free to play. Um, God, I really don't want to say that Nintendo is going to make you pay to download it. I really don't think they will. Um, Never mind. Breaking fucking news. I just read it some more. Yes, you do have to pay to download it. Nintendo might be the greediest fucking corporation of all time. You do have to pay to download it. It's $20, but you do get the ARC Pass. What they were insinuating was that King's Isle was actually talking to Nintendo, trying to get it free to download, and Nintendo said, no, it actually, like, we are required to make every game that we have on there pay to download. So King's Isle worked out a deal with them where the $20 that you pay to download it also gives you the Arc 1 pass. So that means, yes, you can download it, and then you can just straight up play through Wizard 101 or Wizard City Croctopia, you know, Marleybone, Dragonspire. I believe the Arc 1 pass does not allow you to go to Grizzleheim, though, or Colossus Boulevard, or the Achilles Dungeon. That's kind of bad. Yeah. But the good news is, after you pay to download it, you can just play through Wizard City all the way to Dragonspire. So that's actually pretty fucking cool without having to pay the $10 monthly. So this actually might not be that bad of a thing, because for the casual players and the people who aren't going to play it that much, you can just pay the straight up $20 and then don't have to worry about spending too much money trying to get through Dragonspire. So that's actually kind of nice. But man, on the other side of it, the people who are diehard Wizard 101 fans, I know two people in my streams every night that actually keep talking about the Nintendo Switch. They're actually very excited to play on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask them how they feel about having to pay the $20 flat fee, because that has never happened in the history of Wizard 101. You know, it's always been free to play in Wizard City, but now you can't even download it without paying $20. So will that draw negative attention to it? Will less people play because of that? I don't know. I honestly actually question Wizard 101 coming to Nintendo Switch. And I know that there are a good amount of people who will play it, but will there be enough people actually playing it in the long run for it to be worth getting on the Nintendo Switch? Through my streaming and people commenting and knowing people who play the game, I've only ever met one or two people who actually are going to play on the Nintendo Switch, and even before that, I was questioning how many people were going to. So we'll see. I honestly hope that there's going to be enough players to keep the servers alive. Um, hopefully they are going to merge the PlayStation and Xbox players together, with Nintendo Switch. Hopefully they don't have their own servers. I really doubt that they are. I'm pretty sure Nintendo Switch people are going to be playing with PlayStation and Xbox. I hope so, because I don't know if there's going to be enough people on the server for you to actually find people for dungeons or, regular boss fights. So that might also kill it too. So yeah, I really hope that they merge the consoles. For the people who are waiting for the Nintendo Switch to come out and actually don't know how the membership is going to work, the way it works on consoles for PlayStation and Xbox is you have to go to the crown shop. You have to have 5,000 crowns already in your inventory. So, I had to go through the PlayStation Store and spend the $10 for 5,000 crowns. And then there are elixirs. You go to the elixirs tab, and then you just buy 1 month prepaid time elixir, and that will apply for all of your characters. Some of the concerns that I had the first time that I bought the elixirs was that it's for one character, because usually that's how elixirs work. When you use one, it's just for that character specifically, but that is not the case. It will just have you go back to the menu and then go back in to any wizard, and they will have the membership. So yeah, kind of an interesting way to buy a membership. Very different from PC, but I assume that it is going to be the exact same way on the Nintendo Switch. Cut it. And for the people wondering about text chat, no, there is not going to be text chat or open chat. Same thing as the other consoles too. It's just going to be the boring same, like, ones that you can spam, the yes, no, okay, thanks, you're welcome, hit in 1 round, hit in 3 turns. I don't really find this that much of a problem. A lot of people said that there's no way that people on console could actually do some of the dungeons or in some of the boss fights because you can't communicate properly. And I think a lot of the console people have actually found a way to appropriately, like, tell people when to hit, when to blade, blah blah blah. It is not easy. I'll say that there are a lot of dumbasses playing this game too, where they hit 1 round early or it knocks the whole blades off, or oh my god, don't get me started. But no, there will not be open chat or text chat in the Nintendo Switch version, but there will be the regular ways to communicate, just the regular chat option. um, yeah, so I honestly recommend people getting into discords, when they, find people to play with, carefully, obviously. um, yeah, because Nintendo Switch, I think it's going to be pretty hard to communicate with people. For most of the game, I don't think you'll need to communicate that much with people. I haven't had to, so yeah, just, find a way to get around that. I don't think it'll be too bad. Discord, always there, so yeah. And obviously, same with the PlayStation and Xbox consoles. No bundles will not be available. No entering a pack code will not be available to get your free pack. There will be things like the member benefits, obviously, just not bundles and cool things like that, unfortunately. I think KingsIsle said that they are working towards adding them to consoles. That would be great. I honestly want to buy one, but you know what? I don't have to spend my money. That's fine. Yeah, they are working towards it. It is very hard for them to get it onto consoles, the same way that porting it onto the consoles itself was really hard. It's just another step that they're trying to work on and do, which was another thing I was surprised that Nintendo Switch came out so early, because they got it onto there way faster than they did PlayStation and Xbox. It makes me think that they were working on all three of them from the start. And that's why it took so long to get it going. Either that, or once they found out how to port it onto PlayStation and Xbox, it was very easy of them to port it onto Nintendo Switch, because, it only coming out 2.5 months after the release onto console is very impressive. Honestly, I got to give them props. So, yeah, big win for King's Isle. So that's about it. The major takeaway from this video was the $20 that you have to spend to actually download the game. But the good thing about it is you're not doing it for nothing. If you were spending the $20 and then you had to spend the $10 additional every month, I honestly think that would be enough for people to not even play it in general. That would be honestly pretty insane. But that's not the case. You do get the Arc 1 version. If that's not something that you wanted to do, you just wanted to download it for free and then pay the monthly subscription, you're shit out of luck if you're a Nintendo Switch player. But with that being said, I don't think it's the end of the world, and I'm excited to see people make videos on the Nintendo Switch version, and I'm even excited to see players like in the wild on Nintendo Switch. I wonder what the symbol for be under their name. So yeah, I'll see you guys out there.